what the American people want and what the American people deserve is to have a Congress that functions, and that a president that seems so cocky and confident in his taking us to war should have to come before his body, that the members of his cabinet and sit here and justify both the provocation of why we went to war and what is the end game.
Yeah. Senator Cory Booker has been one of the loudest voices of opposition to the war in Iran and most of this administration's policies as well. He's also showing Americans how there's a path forward if we remember lessons from our past. His new book, Stand, is out, and we're going to talk to him about it. So please welcome back Senator Cory Booker. So before we do anything, congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
You got married.
I did.
So I don't know if you noticed that in the front row.
I see her.
The beautiful Alexis is here.
I love this, yes. I think I was on the sidelines of a full life for too long, and she's let me know what it's really like to have a full life, so it's great.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Forever. May it last forever.
Yes.
May it last forever. Son,
You're
got
even
to...
making me feel. Well, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah,
because shortly after President Trump's return to office, you held the Senate floor for over 25 hours. That broke the record for the longest floor speech in Senate history. And since then, we've seen American citizens killed on our streets by masked federal agents in Minneapolis. We're at war in the Middle East. Tariffs have wreaked havoc on the economy. Millions of Americans are uninsured after Republicans let the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire. Now, we know that the Republicans are in control of Congress, but do you think Democrats can do more to effectively resist some of these issues, some of these policies?
So I think one of the things I've been saying, because I've had obviously disagreements with the Republican Party, but also critiques of my own, this is a time where everybody has to do more. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican right now, costs are skyrocketing. Millions of us are losing our health insurance. Energy costs are now going up. But more than that, we have a generation of Americans that have stopped believing in the American dream. They're working harder than their parents, they're making less, they don't think they can afford a house and have a kid, not to mention afford medical bills right now. There is an urgency for us in this moment to renew the hope and the sense and the promise of America. And that's the fight that we have. This left-right fight, I'm going to fight like hell against Donald Trump's policies, but he is not the main character of this story. We are. Right. And we need to come together as a country and start being the nation we say we are for all of our people.
Well, Senator, we're now on day 24 of the war in Iran, and the effects are being felt here at home more and more. You've been pushing resolutions to stop the military strikes until there's congressional approval. But I want to ask you, past presidents Clinton, Obama, Biden, George W. Bush all authorized military action without formal war declarations or going to Congress beforehand. Why is this situation different?
Well, first of all, I was one of those critics then as well. Our bombing campaign in Yemen and more, we have allowed Congress, in the most feckless manner, has given away their power to the executive. But no president before this has ever done what Donald Trump is. This is the biggest military engagement we've been in since the war in Afghanistan. He did not articulate a reason. In fact, he hopped around. It's about regime change. It's about stopping the nuclear weapons. It's about their ballistic missiles. It's about them murdering their citizens. He didn't even tell America why we were going in. And now he can't even articulate a way out. And meanwhile, what he's done to Americans is he's spending billions of our dollars. What has he done to Americans? Well, number one, we've lost 13 people. And number two, Americans who he promised to lower prices on day one are seeing costs skyrocket. So this is an out-of-control president, exactly what our founders warned us about. And they, in Federalist Paper 47, said the job of the Senate is to check the reckless abuses of an executive who is grabbing power that does not belong to the executive. So right now, my Republican colleagues stunningly haven't held a hearing, no oversight, no meaningful oversight, no transparency. We're not even debating it on the floor. We're debating stupid laws like, hey, let's take away voting power from Americans. So every American should be outraged, not just because we're paying higher and higher and higher costs. It's because we haven't learned the lessons of history. Yet again, we are going into a Middle East war without a plan, without an exit strategy, setting off chaos in the entire world as we see what they're doing in the Straits of Hormuz.
And Senator, just a couple of weeks ago, you got into a contentious back and forth with former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. This was shortly before she was deported from the Department of Homeland DHS. You called the agency reckless and out of control under her leadership. Trump's replaced her. His nominee for the position now is a colleague of yours from Oklahoma, Mark Wayne Mullen. He's expected to be confirmed maybe in the coming days. Do you think, I mean, you know him, he's your colleague. Will we actually see changes under this guy, or will it be the same?
Look, we're going to have the vote on him tonight. I'm not going to vote for him. I've gotten to know him and have had a really good relationship with him on the Senate floor, but I'm not supporting another dollar to this reckless, out-of-control agency that is, in my state, even a Republican town where they paid twice as much as they should have for a huge warehouse to really continue their private for-profit prison campaign of snatching people, even Americans and American children have been taken out of their homes, our veterans and more. Simply changing the head of the agency is not going to stop what Donald Trump has done. And again, as he's cutting all of your health care, as he's cutting your health care, cutting school lunch programs, he has funded this agency more than the militaries of most countries in order to do these kind of unconstitutional things. So for me, it's not about who the head of the agency is. It is about stopping them from doing these moral outrages in our communities.
We've been talking about another day in America, another government shutdown. And this affects real people.
Yes.
Every day, they're waiting for these checks to come in. You were talking in the commercial break about friendships in Congress that people don't realize are close, even people from the other side. So what needs to happen? Because it takes two. Are Democrats going to come in at all? What do Republicans do? And should Congress still be getting paid? I think there are a lot of people wondering, how is that happening?
Yeah,
I know you've actually offered not to get paid.
This is the bizarrest moment I've ever seen, where the fight is over another agency, it's fight over ICE. We all have principled fights over ICE. But what the Republicans are saying now is, well, we're going to hold TSA hostage. We're not going to pay them until you capitulate to what we want on ICE. But we're all just saying, pay TSA. Pay FEMA, pay these organizations. Let's continue to fight over here, but why are you dragging them in? What they're doing is using the American people as leverage. They're going to say, we're going to make your life miserable, try to blame it on you in order to get you to capitulate to what we're saying over here.
So what do Democrats do?
So I just say that this is...
Last time they capitulated.
Last time they capitulated. People ran over here and said, okay, enough pain. I'm simply saying the pain is not being caused by Democrats. We have tried 7 times to fund the TSA, and they are great people. They're underpaid people. We're some of our frontline public safety people, and they're underpaid. And I'm literally leaving here. I love New York, but I'm racing across the river to go to Jersey, to go to the Newark airport and stand up for those TSA workers to get paid. Stop holding them hostage because you don't want to do the right thing.
That's what makes you unique in our world of politics. You have this great book out, Stand, and I recommend people read it in these times because it's such inspiring stories. You weave in your spirituality, but you're as good at what you do because you bring people together to get things done. And it's funny, I don't watch TV much anymore because it gives me anxiety. I watch Ina Garten a lot, and she said the other day, and it made me think of you, and she said, success sometimes comes to people when the world needs them. And I was thinking about 2016 and how similar, but different, I think we are kind of aching for peace. We're aching for kindness. We're aching for leadership. Are we ready yet for that, though? Are we still going to be in this entertainment soundbite world for another
So this is my answer when people ask me, I'm afraid, I'm scared, what can I do? And so this book is about inspiration and instruction. It's about how our virtues are not to be abandoned, but they are actually the strength and strategy we need to win. This is a story, I love that historians, Doris Kearns Goodwin and John Meacham and Henry Louis Gates all wrote blurbs for the book because this is about telling the best of who we are in the worst of times, and how average Americans stood up and said, I'm not looking for a hero, We are the heroes we need to save our country.
Are we ready? Are we going to
I
get
think
there?
we are
We're
in
doing
crisis. I think we're modeling meanness from the highest office in the land. I think people are tired of demeaning and degrading.
But it's in the media too, by the way. We're all responsible.
Our culture is atavistic. It is fighting each other. Now is the time more than ever we need a clarion call to put more indivisible in this one nation under God.
So here, as always, thank you for coming. The new book is called Stand. It's in bookstores tomorrow. You can scan the QR code on your screen to order it now. But you know what, y'all? You know what I'm gonna tell you. You know, you're all getting a copy of the book, and you're going home with it.